Welcome to Seattle, Washington, the largest city in the Pacific Northwest. Known for its tech industry, musical scene, and Starbucks, I've flown all the way over here to figure out what the city is actually like. We're gonna begin in the Fremont neighborhood, mainly because this is where the cheapest hotel I could find is, and we're gonna slowly move towards the south and the more famous parts of the city. Now, Fremont is one of the most creative and unconventional neighborhoods in Seattle. It proudly calls itself the center of the universe. This area is known for its public art, quirky shops, and little independent cafes. It's kind of a hipster neighborhood, if you want to call it that, but I think it's pretty cool, so we're gonna see some cool stuff around here. The neighborhood is super chill and relaxed, but it's also not too far away from the hustle and bustle of downtown. Now, Fremont was home to quite a significant counterculture scene in the 1990s, and during this tour, we're gonna see a lot of different kinds of street art throughout this neighborhood. Due to these counterculture and art scenes, Fremont is also sometimes called the Artist Republic of Fremont, or the People's Republic of Fremont by the locals. If you're ever in Seattle, you should definitely come check out this place. And here's probably the most famous street art installation in the whole neighborhood, the Fremont Troll. It's a 6-meter tall sculpture representing a troll crushing a real Volkswagen Beetle. It has been sitting underneath the Aurora Bridge here in Fremont since the year 1990. Okay, let's move on to another place I want to check out in this neighborhood. I want to go see the Seattle skyline from the shore of Lake Union. So on my way, I ran into this Lenin statue at this intersection here. Apparently, it was some guy in the 1990s who found it in the former Soviet Union and brought it to Seattle. Anyway, we've now made it to Lake Union, and this is probably one of the most picturesque places in the whole city. On a clear day, you can get a great view of the Seattle skyline. Now, let's next go downtown, but on the way, as you can see, here's some more street art the neighborhood is famous for. I feel like this neighborhood might get overlooked by people who come to Seattle, but hey, if you want a nice chill place to visit with some interesting art and views, you should definitely check this place out. Alright, let's next take a bus downtown, and I know what they say about American public transport, but so far the buses in Seattle have been pretty good. Alright, so now we've made it downtown. The downtown in Seattle is actually quite compact compared to other American cities. You can walk through it in about 15 minutes. Now, unlike most American cities, the downtown of Seattle is pretty hilly. Even the downtown in San Francisco is quite flat. But here in Seattle, the downtown area is located on these steep hills. Of course, like most American cities, the downtown area is covered in these modern skyscrapers. So now we've made it to the waterfront. This is one of the busiest areas in Seattle. This is probably the most touristy area in the city, but it's also one of the most central to its identity and economy. The Puget Sound is what made the city possible in the first place. The deep natural harbor is what allowed Seattle to become a major maritime port on the Pacific coast. Today you can take a ferry ride across the sound and its islands. We're not gonna do that today, but we can still enjoy the view. The harbor is filled with all kinds of restaurants and gift shops for tourists. There's also a Ferris wheel. Now, I'm not really interested in paying tourist prices in any of these places, so we're just gonna move on. I'm actually kind of surprised by how pretty this city looks with the skyscrapers on the other side and the Puget Sound on the other. In the summer, the city is a really nice place to hang out. In the winter, it might be a little different, but hey, let's just enjoy the weather we got now. Next, I actually want to go to one of the most famous places in the whole city. Not the most famous place, that'll come up later, but this place is just a short walk from where we are now. The traffic in this city is actually quite low considering it's a city of about 4 million people. And here we are. This is the Pike Place Market, one of the most famous farmers markets in the United States. Opened in 1907, it's actually the oldest farmers market still in use in America. Now, for anyone outside the US, that might not sound that old, but here it's basically ancient history. Pike Place is also the location of the first Starbucks in the world. It all started here, and today you can wait in line for 4 hours if you want to visit the place. Now, I'm not a big Starbucks guy, so again, we're just gonna move on. Next, we're gonna head to the most famous place in Seattle. Yeah, it's the one you're thinking of, but first we need to walk through the Belltown neighborhood. This neighborhood used to be an industrial area of the city, but it has since been transformed into one of Seattle's trendiest neighborhoods. They also have a Starbucks here, where you don't have to spend half your life waiting in line just for some frappuccinos. Now, Belltown is known for its nightlife, restaurants, and modern apartment buildings, and is considered one of the most walkable neighborhoods in the city. And walking here, we can already see the thing we came all this way for. The Space Needle is almost definitely the most famous landmark of the city. It might be the only thing that a lot of people outside of the US know about Seattle. It was built for the World's Fair in 1962. And at 184 meters, or about 605 feet, it was once the tallest structure in the western United States. The tower is located in the Seattle Center, which is a large park area that was originally built for the 1962 World's Fair. I didn't decide to go up to the Space Needle because it cost $80. So we're gonna do the next best thing. And depending on your viewpoint, it might be even better than going up to the Space Needle. We're gonna go up this hill to one of the best views the city has to offer. This is Kerry Park, and unlike the Space Needle, this view is completely free. From here, you can see the skyline of the whole city, including the Space Needle, and on a clear day, you can even see Mount Rainier in the background. Alright, let's take a bus back through downtown. Now we're in the Chinatown of Seattle. I actually changed my accommodation to a hostel here to get a more central location, and now that we're here, let's explore the district. Just like most of the West Coast, Seattle is home to a large East Asian minority who crossed the Pacific to the United States. Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, and Filipino cultures have shaped this neighborhood for well over 100 years. And even today, it's filled with authentic restaurants, boutiques, and East Asian artworks that you'll encounter just walking around. Interestingly, the signs here are also bilingual in both English and Mandarin, making it one of the few places in America where that is the case. But this is gonna bring our tour of the city to an end. I I was very positively surprised by what Seattle has to offer, and honestly, there were so many things I didn't get to see, so I'll definitely come back someday. Now, I'm actually planning to do a big trip across the Pacific Northwest, and tomorrow we're gonna hop on a bus to a completely new destination, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and see you later.